This is very peppy music. What was that? Oh, just something they made me say back in instruction. It kinda stuck. Huh. I went to a school that made us stand up with our hands on our backs when someone came in. That habit didn't rub off until high school or so. Yeah, it's kinda like that. Oh yeah, look at this. A glass with a signature? To I'll assume it's either an I'll assume it's either an autograph or an impromptu medicine recipe. That Kita Miki girl came here yesterday before her concert, actually. Oh yeah, now I see her name here. You don't seem very surprised. I like B-Link more, actually. The stoic-looking duo, right? Yep, those. Seems you had a better day than mine yesterday. I had to break up with Damien. I see. Want a drink? You don't seem very surprised. Alma, we've known each other for, what, a few months now? I'd be interested if those relationships of yours went further than a week or two. You say you broke up, but there's usually not enough time to foster something to break. It's more like, the guy wasn't what I wanted, so I stopped flirting. You could pretend to be more interested, you know. Like my mom says, if I don't buy it, it's because I know the product. Speaking of buying, do you want a frame? A frame? Yeah, for all these pics you have of your boss, the ones filling your phone's memory. Some seem sneakily taken at that. Is that true? What do you care? How the hell did you find that out? So it is true. Shut up! I'm a hacker, remember? You shouldn't piss off a hacker. Aw, I really like this one of her sleeping in her office. I think I'll copy it. You! Hey, can you make me a bad touch before we keep arguing? Sure. Alma wants a bad touch. Alright. 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4. We could double it, but I'm afraid what this woman would do if we got her too drunk. All on the rocks and mixed. Bad touch. Here. Cheers. Who gives these drinks their silly names? Usually the one who registers it. Some people have quite the silly sense of humor. Like that girl who keeps laughing over this particular drink's name? Yeah. So, who's Damien again? The one with the nice car. Sure, he's also the manager at the bank, but that car was what caught my eye. And what was wrong with him? Turns out he was a LARPer. Hey! I mean, I don't do LARP. I do tabletop roleplay. But hey, what the fuck is wrong with that? LARP? Live action role-playing. Sounds more like the nickname of some heavy-handed writer or a military organization. What did he roleplay as? Have you heard of the Woodstock fairs? Okay. Alright, I'm starting to get it. Those events where people barely dress, stink, roll in the mud, and fuck in the open? Those are hippies, yeah. He frequents those, and it's something I'd rather not deal with. At all. Okay, I get it. If I stayed with him, I'd eventually have to. I mean, I need to support my partner in what he does, but if it's something like that... You see, that's the problem right there. You say breaking up like you had something formal, but most of the time you're still getting to know him. Think about it. Have you ended your longest lasting relationships for things like those? Okay, sorry for not using the right word or whatever, but I'm still sorely disappointed. Wow, I managed to pick the perfect voice for this character. I'm feeling pretty proud of myself right now. And at least I'm trying to get some action. When was the last time you spent the night with someone else? Last night? Your cat doesn't count. A year ago. It was messy. Happy Valentine's Day, Jill. Happy Valentine's. See? I mean, I have no idea how you deal with that. If I were you, I would have pushed fuckboy over there into a closet ages ago. Fuckboy? People have different needs and priorities. Yes, but don't you miss having the warmth of someone else at your side? Using them as a pillow, mixing your perfume with theirs, putting your head on their chest, listening to them breathe as they pet your head, dozing off knowing they're there, watching you, protecting you. Jill? Anything I can make you to shut up and drink? I'll have you know that my Uncle Juan taught me ventriloquism when I was 12. Drinking won't stop me from talking, or making tasteless puns for Aunt Rosa. Still, get me something weird, would you? Weird. Ventriloquism. Weird? A weird drink? Yeah, something different, experimental, uncommon. Let's see. Weird. By type, there's no weird option. Four of each ingredient, all on the rocks. Oh dear. Yeah, maybe the grizzly. Except that that's super bland, isn't it? Bitter, promo, bland. Frothy water. It's so unnecessarily brown. Say the name of this drink 3 times in a mirror and you'll look like a fool. Beer, bad touch. Fuck, man. Yeah, maybe. Maybe the grizzly. Frothy water also seems kind of weird. That's one of everything but Karmatrine. Aged and mixed. That's just a watery beer, really. Promo drinks, huh? Bloom light. What's the bloom light? This is the unnecessarily brown one. I don't think these are uncommon enough to count. Zen Star is gross. So by process of elimination, the bloom light is also bland. Fuck, man. I mean, it's spicy. That's kind of strange for a drink. And it's brown, so it's a weird color. This one's just 4 of each ingredient, which I kind of like. Unbearable. I'm gonna go with the Zen Star. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a big drink. Alright, let's do it. Here. Yeah, this fits the bill. It's a promotional drink made to commemorate a movie. Read, they leapt at the chance to sell drinks that would be unmarketable otherwise. Oh. You know, your orders are weird today. They are? Yeah, usually the first thing you ask for is a Brandtini and then something like a Cobalt Velvet. Something similar. Well, I sometimes feel like I need something different, you know? Something tells me part of the reason you left Damien is because he was too deep into routine. Maybe. Hey, speaking of routines, as a hacker, what's your opinion on the whole Alice Rabbit thing? Ugh. That's the silence of somebody who just heard something stupid. Stupid enough to warrant the speech they've prepared just for occasions like this. As always, very perceptive of you. You know, decades ago, there was this group of people that hacked simple sites with an agenda. Can't remember what they used to call themselves. I just remember that it was just petty vandalism. Anyway, everyone that participated started using the same name. They wanted to create this anonymous anarchist identity. I wonder what they could have possibly been called. It is a mystery. The whole Alice Rabbit thing is the logical conclusion of that. It's what happens when that idea reaches its breaking point and goes mainstream. It is no longer a group, but an individual, an untouchable entity watching from the shadows, monitoring and judging everything anyone does. Observing, tolerating no one but itself. A lot of bullshit for what's essentially a pet the press made up. The antithesis of your usual boogeyman, if you must. So, you don't think such a person exists? Don't know, don't care. I mean, we have seen the actions of such an entity, but it might be anything, an individual, a group, an AI. That's not taking into account all the copycats and pranksters using the name. So, Alice Rabbit is a thing that exists, but it's also really muddied overall. There's something else that worries me, though. That kind of story always catches the attention of kids and such. They start trying to hack stuff without knowing the risks or consequences. Imagine if suddenly a group of tweens broke into this bar and started asking for drinks. That's how it feels for me, and it's thanks to that damned Alice Rabbit thing. I see. But enough of that. There's a more pressing matter at hand. There is? Yeah, you've been delaying my invitations for hanging out sometime for too long. Oh. That. Do you hate me that much, Jell? Does my presence make you that uncomfortable? No, at this rate, I might just crash by your apartment. That way you can't just say no. Maybe I'll also crash for the night. We can have a sleepover, braid our hair, tell stories all night, shower together. You know, you need some human warmth in that place. I feel like my mantra for this game is I am a mature adult who can say this line out loud. But I'm skipping this one. You know, some people have these kinds of friendships, and that's not how sleepovers work. Yeah, as someone who has had several, agreed. There are some people whose friendships, you know, you can just say stuff like that. I have never personally, that's not true. That's not true. I have friendships where that kind of language is, like, reasonable and, like, not a thing to bat one's eye at. But, like, it's extremely personal, and it feels kind of weird when it's in a video game. Not to say that I don't, or that I think it specifically doesn't belong in games, because this game so far has entirely been about trying to represent believable people with believable relationships, like real people, real relationships within this fictional setting, for the sake of, you know, asking semi-real questions. And so I don't feel like it's out of place here, but it does make me uncomfortable. Man, you react too nonchalantly. It's no fun. React a little bit. Let me tease you for a second. I refuse. In all seriousness though, any particular reason you keep turning down my invitations? I mean, it's not a date. I just want to have a conversation with you outside these four walls. I'm not a morning person. I registered for a night shift precisely to avoid waking up early. The earliest I've asked you out is 10 a.m. Oh my god, that's so early. Fuck. Oh god, I am the main character. Oh no. Oh no. Oh god. That's early morning by my standards. It is. I mean, it's not that I don't want to hang out, I just don't want to wake up early. Oh my god, this is me. I have had this conversation. I have had that conversation. Fuck. Oh my god. It's too early for my blood, thanks. Yeah, right? Right? Yeah, no. You are hopeless. Anyway, I'm gonna need another drink here. Like, say, a big brandtini. Finally, that's the Alma I know. Yeah, we can do that. Big brandtini coming right up. We got 6 Adelaide. It's actually 12. 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 Powder Delta. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 Carmatrine. 1, 2. And what is it? All aged. And can we do like 2 p.m. Alma? Right? 2 p.m. is a perfectly reasonable time to hang out. Yeah, I have friends that I have friends. Really, believe me. I have friends who operate on a real person schedule. And like one of my closest friends from college. We hang out semi-often, but every time it's like, hey, do you want to come over for lunch? And I'm like, lunch for me is like 2 or 3 p.m. and it's usually my first meal of the day. Lunch for you is noon. So I love hanging out. Getting up that early is no thanks. Because I also have I have to take the bus. I don't drive. So, whew. All right, mix that drink. Bam! We did it. A big brandtini. Here. You know, brandtini is such a weird name. It was originally supposed to replicate the martini. Problem is, the BTC got a hold of a brand of vermouth that was named after a certain automobile company. So, on a weird whim, they changed the name. I see. Wait. Is that an Aston Martini? You know, I was wondering. Yeah? Don't you worry about what the people you work for might be doing with the information you provide? Not really. You don't? Do you worry about what happens when people leave this place drunk? Not really, most of the time. Well, neither do I. Why should you? Do you get people drunk? Some say my beauty is intoxicating, but that's beside the point. I get my payment, do my job, and forget about the whole thing. You make your job sound so easy. Once you understand what precautions to take, it's no problem, and I've always found my job fun. However, most of my contacts are consultancy-based gigs. It's not like every day's a thrill. Do you meet with your client, or... I don't. It's always from behind as many filters as I can manage. I remember I once did a job where I had a couple of kids relaying letters for security reasons, right? Actually, because that way I lose a lot less time. I don't have to deal with clients hitting on me or pestering me after the job's done. Oh god, I'm so sorry, Alma. I also don't have to lose time proving my worth because big boobs equals small brain or some shit like that. I mean, protecting my identity is one of the reasons, but the few times I've shown myself, they weren't even risky or dangerous jobs, just run-of-the-mill security checks. I don't know, maybe I need to show up as a disheveled nerd or something, give them what they expect to see. Or I just don't show up and save myself the trouble. Why all the questions? Just things I've been curious about and always forget to ask. So many Alice Rabbit headlines have made me wonder about the hacking business too. Oh, I'll remember to ask you things next time then. Well, I'll take my leave now. See ya! Take care. This one will be interesting. Ow. Oh, it's Mr. Donovan. Hello, Mr. Donovan. Like my pop used to say, never touch the ass of a woman with metallic arms. Oh, Jesus. I think it's more like plastic and carbon fiber. They're hard as fuck, and that's all my abdomen felt. You got way less than you deserved. Do you normally greet people that way? I'm a man that can't contain himself when he sees something he likes, kid. Also known as scum of the earth and should probably be in prison. Oh, but don't worry, you're safe. You're flatter than the field at my summer house. A bit of advice, you shouldn't provoke the ones serving you drinks or food. Don't be offended, kid. You have your audience, I'm just not part of it. Christ. Today I'm making this quick one. Gotta tend to business in a while. Having said that, I'll just have the usual. The usual, he says. 3 days and he already has a usual drink. Beer. Extra bag. Yeah, we have now seen roughly as much of this game, I think, as I saw when I watched part of it the first time. What did I fuck up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. I only did 4 Karma Train. So I am just as surprised as all of you from here on out, pretty much. What did I fuck up? I didn't double the flanner grid. God damn it. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. That's gonna cost me at the end of the day. The usual. Sure, this'll work. What brings you today, Mr. Donovan? That girl I interviewed yesterday is coming again in a couple of weeks. So I was working to clinch an exclusive interview. Did you succeed? Who the hell do you think you're talking to? I'm Donovan D. Dawson. I always get what I want. Ugh. Ugh. So yeah, I'm kind of really hoping something happens to this guy. Sure, I had to blackmail the editors of other outlets, but the end result is what matters. I see. Wait, blackmail? This song that is playing right now fucking rocks. What is the song? Showtime. I fucking love it. You'd be surprised at the kind of stuff you find out when you get the right people drunk. Huh? Hey, the signature on that glass over there. Huh? Oh, yeah. That... I hate voicing this man. This is why there is the whole like, fucking voice actors union thing, was so that people could know if they had to voice characters like this before doing it. That big-titted Lilum was here? She came yesterday before the concert, yeah. Anything juicy come out of a visit? No. Gossip-worthy? No. Tabloid-worthy? No. Come on, there has to be something. Well, her love for what she does is so honest and pure that anyone who tries to ruin it should be ashamed. Oh, don't give me that shit. Throw me a bone here, anything. I've got nothing. Everyone has a price. How much for you to spill the beans? I'm serious here. She said nothing that could be used against her or that you didn't already know. Fine. Hey kid, you think It always catches me off guard. And it shouldn't. I should be expecting this shit, but I'm like reading it as it goes along and then... Fucking Christ. Hey kid, you think Lilum have nipples? Excuse me? I mean, I've seen a couple of pornos where they have them, but they could be modded, you know? So yesterday, while interviewing the singer Lilum chick, I kept wondering if those tits had nipples. I mean, I'd be fine without them, but the curiosity is killing me. And I'm even more curious about the engineers that design them. It's actually a good question, like, what if your job is to design... I mean, he's being gross about it, he's being horrible and gross, but how do you have that job? How do you have the job that is designing a body for a sentient person without their feedback? It was quite the subject to come back to. Welcome back, Kiri. Yes, this guy's back. Can you picture a room full of people discussing whether or not the tits on a Lilum look good enough? A bunch of guys and a lesbo engineer wondering if the latest model's vagina is good. You know, you don't need to be interested in a thing sexually to be able to talk about it, dude. Unnecessary details. Man, God bless those sons of bitches. Any interesting preview of tomorrow's news? You expect me to share my information when you won't share your scoop on the singer? How can one share when there's honestly nothing to share? I'm gonna be a good citizen today and let this one pass. Have you heard of a group called the Harbingers? Not really, no. Can we drug him to shut him up yet? No. There's some group wanting to overthrow the White Knights. I read their manifesto in the bathroom once. Interest in peace and even better makeshift toilet paper. They talk about how the organization is corrupt, full of mob bosses or something like that. I think I've heard about that somewhere. What of them? The thing that's worse is that he's saying all this shit to a female bartender. Right? Right? It's like he is so... And as much as I hate him, I'm willing to give props to the writers for this character, because this person is real. He is so secure in his position of power and his, like as a business person, but also in his privilege, that he feels zero shame in participating in this or instigating this conversation, let alone to, as Joe points out, a female bartender, right? Like he could not care less, because what's gonna happen to him? Why should he care? So, points to the writers for having a real indictment of toxic masculinity, but also fuck them for making me have to read this shit. They sent a message to some outlets saying they have proof of their claims, that they're gonna release it to the public tomorrow. Oh, that'd be interesting to see, I think. I know, right? Alright, kid. Give me a bleeding Jane so I can call it a day. Okay. It's a bleeding Jane. That's a change of pace. 1 Bronson. 3 Powdered Delta. 3 Flanagrine. All blended. Ugh. My vocal cords are not happy with me. Let's see, let's double this because he likes big drinks. He cannot lie. You know, any other person in that joke would have been funny, but instead it just made me feel gross. All blended. Here. Simple enough for you, I see. So, I've heard this is Dana Zane's bar. Is that true? Yeah? Never thought I'd hear about the undefeated of the West again. More so after that incident with the bears. Where is she? She's outrunning some bears? 6 years ago, cash-strapped Dana Zane entered an underground ring for money. Faced 10 enraged grizzly bears. She beat them all without killing them. I heard she set them free afterwards, too. And you were there? I was drunk and bored, what can I say? Do you know if she lost her arm there? Can't remember. Too drunk. Maybe she had a prosthetic then, too. I heard someone there suggest that she lost it after throwing a baseball out of the stadium. Threw it so hard, her arm fell off. But that sounds more like an unsubstantiated rumor. More like something she made up. Well, I gotta go. Next time you see Dana, thank her for winning my second yacht. I knew betting on her was the right choice. Please, come again. Yeah. Break time. Save.